for the fame?
Nah, I ain't doing it for the fame.
Nick.
Hey, what's up?
Aren't you doing it for the likes?
Nah, I ain't doing it for the likes.
Oh, okay. Hold up. So you doing it for the pussy?
Nah, I mean, yeah, no, I ain't doing it for that.
Okay, then. What are you doing it for?
Man, I do it for the culture.
The culture?
CGI fucking old
Industry up.
You're like, wow, this fucking
Make sure you talk into the mic.
Thank you.
It's recording.
Oh, we're recording?
Yeah, I like to just. I like to just do the talking. It's just natural that way.
Totally
Rick
sucks.
Baker did the makeup, and he's like legendary.
Yeah,
And
I mean, it all looked great then. Like the makeup and the costuming itself looked
like that
dope.
opening scenes,
But
right?
the opening scene of Zamunda, and you're like, that is a fucking cardboard or like, what do they call that? MD, plywood, pressed wood, painted, and you're like, oh, this is so disappointing.
Yeah.
And that elephant is only walking to its crate on the other side of the lot here at Paramount. Yeah,
That's
it's
funny.
a little disappointing, but the movie.
You know what made me it's like a great. I feel great and then I feel sad at the same time because I think about how that movie is now almost it's 30 years now, 2018, and how Eddie had this whole movie that he did with characters and a bunch of black casts, and it is so well. It was, and then he wrote it, and it was just like he did all these amazing things in it, and like he's done some more stuff obviously, but it was just like there was such a lull with that kind of production for a long time when you talk about predominantly black casts and whatever.
I mean, he was the one though. He was the pioneer. He was the guy that was bankable by the studios. That sort of transcended color. They're like, nobody really saw Eddie as black, like except our community. The studios were like, here is this guy who's so likable. He's non-threatening. He's like non-threatening. He's funny. He's sexy. He's smart. He's this. Like he had the whole package for the studios to go, we could put our money on you.
But even besides like empowering like a fictional African country, which was dope in itself. There was this clip that came out where we did Jay Leno, and they talked about his perspective of Boomerang and how Boomerang was just a kind of like an ode of these times where in the 90s, advertising was really huge, and there was a lot of like beautiful black businesses thriving, and he wanted to just show where these black folks just work and they're bosses and they make money and they live great.
The whole Essence and Ebony and Jet. It was like he understood that world of the other side. Like, he was gracing the cover of all these white magazines, but he lived and thrived in the world of us, of being able to be
and I love Boomerang so much more for that.
For sure. I think that they were, in terms of comparing the movies, you can't.
No.
Like totally different.
What's a black
they were totally
different.
different.
Boomerang
but
versus,
just how important that is because of just the whole, like it's just black people working, thriving. It's not drugs or gang related film.
Perry.
It's a romantic film.
Right. I mean, Tyler Perry like totally co-opted Eddie's whole nutty professor and the whole thing. It was like, or even Martin and all of that.
I love Martin so much.
Like between Martin's characters, obviously Martin was inspired by Eddie playing all those different characters, and even Arsenio. Like when we were watching back Coming to America, and you saw Arsenio play the chicks at the club when they went to the club.
Oh, yeah.
They were like there, like day 3 night. Too. Yes, like you're like, damn, I forgot how funny Arsenio was. Like
when he wants
in
to
that
be.
space, like he really could be funny.
I wish he do. Why come he don't do more films? You got Arsenio's number? Tell him he need to do more films.
I think he would like to, but it's funny. Like I think that he's got to find the rights in the space that Eddie used him and where Arsenio was. He was brilliant. He was able to shine. Right. And a talk show for him, he's great. I mean, I hear he's back to doing stand up. He wants to go on tour.
Yeah. I haven't heard the best reviews of the tour.
Yeah, well.
Oh, really? I haven't seen. I love him so much.
He's trying to get his legs back. It takes time.
It takes time.
I don't know if the hunger is there. That's the thing. Me and my friend was having a conversation about that. And just for you guys don't know, we've been talking for a couple minutes, but this is For the Culture Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Alexander. Here, my guest today across from me is the lovely Vanessa Rodriguez Spencer. She's a casting director, philanthropist, right? And, just all around dope woman. And then I have another dope woman sitting next to her is Sharon Houston, who's a comedian, stand-up writer, also works in casting. So she's a hustler. Sharon is one of my favorite people out here. Since I've been
I love you.
out.
You're one of my favorites.
I'm one of your favorites. You're just saying that because I had you
know
on the
that's
show.
not true. That's not true. You know you're one of my favorites.
I'm one of the favorites.
Come on.
So if it was MySpace, where am I in the top 8?
7.
7. All right, I'll take 7.
I don't know MySpace. I probably should have known.
You was done with MySpace. MySpace, you were in your 20s, so like.
Yeah, I never did it though.
You never did it.
You never did MySpace?
I think she got forced into social media so that her kids could follow her and so she can keep up with them.
Right.
That's the only reason why you got Instagram.
If you were an actor or a singer,
I was like for sure late to the game on
and
Instagram
the pictures, that kind of you got into it.
I realized that people weren't really on Facebook, and I was like, fuck, I'm really dating myself if I'm still on Facebook. I got to get my IG game up.
But it's all good, though.
I switched over.
So what were we just talking about before I had to do our professional intro?
Arsenio,
yeah. So he, look, Arsenio, because I've watched his old stand-up clips. Like, I like to really watch it. If I could find video of somebody from back in the day, it's great. And he has some good TV sets, so it's like he could do stand-up, but he took really long breaks, and he'll kind of come back when he wants.
Yeah.
And he'll perform in LA, and unfortunately, LA, they are good crowds here, but they're crowds that give you a lot of room to just sometimes not be good.
If you're famous, they're gonna laugh at you.
And it's different from when you want to go to Cleveland or do late shows in Texas or.
You better bring it because those people will stare at your ass.
Yeah, and he did the April Fool's Day show. They don't get the Hollywood
thing. Like the Hollywood thing is a Hollywood thing to them. So when you're out in the real world, you gotta have real shit to talk about.
We paid $40 parking.
Exactly. And my 2-drink minimum.
And my 2-drink.
Yeah, you better bring your A game.
So he's still finding his way. But it was my boy who was kind of tight because he was excited to see Arsenio, and he just kind of felt like Arsenio was, in his opinion, bullshitting and just kind of just living and being famous. And comic had to tell him, is you got to think about it, man. Right now you're trying to get it. So you're really hungry when you take the stage. You also want to be a good stand-up. You're not just trying to be in LA to be on. When you've been rich or whatever for 20, 30 years, you're not, that hunger is not there. Yeah. That's why I still applaud, the Kevin Harts, the Chris Rocks. Yeah. Because they don't have to fucking go out and tour for a year or two and do stadiums and 2-hour sets. They don't have to.
No, but that was their grind. Here's the difference. Arsenio didn't have, as far as I can remember, he didn't do special. It was a different time, but Arsenio went from sort of being this guy in Hollywood that people sort of knew and was funny, but then he was Eddie's sidekick, and not in a bad way, but it was like Carson and Ed McMahon. It was it was that kind of thing. So it was like Johnny and Ed, and it was Eddie and Arsenio, and so it was easy for Arsenio to sort of slide into that space. And then he was this, enigma at night. He was a black dude doing late night talk shows, and he had the hottest people on, from recording artists to movie stars.
I mean, that show was groundbreaking.
Cool. That shit
I wish I was around for that.
I remember watching on a little what should have been a car TV that you could bring to travel with a TV and a radio.
Those
and
are the ones you had in your
antenna.
dorm.
Yeah, you had in your dorm. And I was watching that in my room
every night. Yeah, I was up for that.
I was up for it when I should have been sleeping and getting ready to go to school in the morning.
So
I was
dope.
watching this.
Yeah.
Yep. He was the one.
Yeah, my late night was WWF Raw.
Ew.
I'm Ma, 3 more minutes. No, nigga, go to bed.
You're like,
So I missed out on Arsenio. And I'm not saying this because for the listeners who don't know, Vanessa is married to a comedian by the name of Chris Spencer. I was a huge fan of Vibe.
I was too.
I watched Vibe, and I don't know why Chris Spencer.
He crushed it for those 11 weeks.
11
poor baby.
One of my friends was on the show when he was the host.
What? Who?
My friend Louis Schaefer. He's a comic. He lives in the UK now. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
Okay, so he had.
I love you, babe, but I don't think I caught all
all 11 weeks.
11 weeks. Yeah.
But I got really sad.
Again, it was late night. It was not a little past the bedtime.
Right.
Yeah.
So I used to watch see him on the Jane Fox show, Don't Be a Menace, and then he had the talk show, and I was like, and he's just a great host.
I thought he was great.
And that's the thing. I don't think he gets enough props as just being one of the better hosts. I've seen him host the ABFF and all that kind of stuff. But Vibe made me sad, and then I got into wrestling to cope because it was weird how they had, and that's the thing when Hollywood does.
Replaced Vibe. That's a very interesting sort of transition from Vibe to
wrestling.
But you know what? No, because it was a little bit of what was going on. It was Chris, it was Magic, it was Keenan. All of them all of a sudden had
and they all got axed.
And then they all got axed, and then he got replaced
by
Sinbad. Yep, and then.
Yeah, I needed to cope with something else. I got disheartened by seeing black men just get canceled.
What?
I had to cope. I had to find another outlet because I was tired of seeing my black men get taken off the TV late night television.
Do you know why I think their shows didn't last as long?
Because they're all competing at the same time slots, dividing the black audience.
I'm gonna say something
I'm a conspiracy theorist. You conspiracy theorist like that?
Not I think it's just realistic. You had Keenan, he was a legend already. He was on there. He had his built-in audience, and he had Magic. Magic.
Yeah, Tommy was a sidekick, right?
Yeah, but it was like Davidson. Magic. How do you
say no to Magic?
Yep. And there you go.
And then it's Conquer and Divide.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think Magic Show didn't go so well because he's not a comedian, even though he's lovely. I think that Vibe and Keenan's show might have done better if they had stronger sidekicks. Swear to God, that's what I think. I think the same thing with George Lopez too. And I don't even think Chris had a sidekick on Vibe.
Chris didn't have a sidekick.
Well, because Chris did a half-hour sketch show, which is kind of different. Because he
on Vibe.
No, I'm talking about. Chris Rock. Were you saying Rock too at the same time?
Oh no,
not me. I'm talking about Mr. Spencer.
Rock was on HBO,
and it was different. It was a different format.
Yeah, different format. But so Chris on Vibe.
I think there's definitely like a formula to a late night talk show, and people expect that, but you want to give them something different, but it's the same.
Did Arsenio have a sidekick?
Not on the new one. No, I don't remember if he had a sidekick on the old one.
His band leader was sort of like his sidekick-ish.
Yeah, but nobody gives a fuck about that.
Nobody cared. But he didn't need it. In that space, it was like, I think that was the smartest thing that they did for Arsenio, was let him be this big persona.
Yeah.
And they kept it tight, and they always had on people that he actually vibed with.
That's true.
And that they had fun. It was a fun show to watch. It didn't take itself too seriously. And I think
but I loved the reboot too. Like at first it was a little bit.
It started rough, and then it was getting really good.
The better it got.
Yeah.
Well, they knew his face.
Yep. And I was like, oh, it was so good. And I would watch it. And I never watched late night talk shows like on the regular. Yeah. And then I would tune in to watch Arsenio, and then they got renewed, and then they took it back.
I don't get. I was still kind of tight that because I was like, okay, because I'm a big dude on numbers, and I was like, okay, I'm reading it. The numbers hold up, so it's not like they're losing in that department.
Right.
So what's the fucking problem?
Because everybody's crazy.
I'm still new to this town. So Vanessa, you work in casting.
I do work in casting.
So tell us, the listeners, what are some of the films, TV shows, or things you've casted?
So I've done.
I know one. I went to the movies. I paid a ticket to see it. I did.
So I've done Entourage. I've done Ballers. We've done Entourage was probably. I've done Soul Plane.
Soul Plane. Don't say that in the gloss over Soul Plane.
I did Soul Plane. Soul Plane was actually how I ended up staying in LA. I came out on vacation to visit my brother.
Okay.
Who was living out here, and I was already working in casting in New York. And Ulysses Torero, whose brother Jesse was directing Soul Plane.
A lot of music videos, right? That was his big chance. That was his Hype Williams belly moment.
Yeah. So he was really he got the green light. He had already been in the business for a minute. And he wanted to hire his brother Ulysses to cast.
That's what's up.
The studio was like, well, he hasn't really done any major studio films, so we're going to need somebody to work with him. So Ulysses and Jesse had started with Sheila Jaffe and Georgianne Walken back in New York on Subway Stories. And so Jesse was like, well, I'll hire Sheila Jaffe to work with my brother.
Okay.
And then Yuli was like, well,
so she's very credible. Boom, boom, boom. Like
Sheila had
studio approval.
Yeah, studio approvals. She had already been in the studio system. So they were like, okay, cool. And I went to interview with Sheila, and I happened to be born in the right borough because I was late trying to get there. And that
is that one of your things? Are you late a lot?
No, I'm not late a lot.
But you can't rely on
it. I was trying to figure out how to get. She was working off Civic Center Drive, and I was coming down Big Santa Monica. And I was like, I see that place, but how do you get across this big
when you knew you don't understand that shit.
Big median, and I was like, I see it, but I don't see how to get there. So anyway, showed up. We started talking. She asked me where I was from. I was like, I was born in the Bronx, and she was like, oh my God, me too.
That's the best thing.
That was it. I happened to be born in the right borough. Had I been born in Queens, like Jess and you, I would have been.
She would have said, "Get the fuck out of my office."
Like, this is not going to work out.
I know a nigga from the Queens that robbed me one time. I can't fuck with you.
Not gonna work. Not gonna work. So we did Soul Plane.
Right.
We started Soul Plane. That's how I met Kevin.
Dope.
Kevin and I became fast friends, and after Soul Plane, we rolled into Entourage, which we never thought was really going to be a series.
And look at that was my favorite show.
3.
Oh man, I just rewatched the show when I was at home.
Yeah,
that's so dope that you were a part of that. So I want to ask you about the Soul Plane process, right? So, because the Godfrey did an interview on Vlad TV where he was like, how when you go to on auditions and with the casting director is very like, hi, hello, just kind of do it this way, thank you, whatever, goodbye. He said when he did the audition for Soul Plane, it was like the funniest shit because all that shit was out the window. It was like, yo, nigga, you was so funny, you killed that shit, do that shit again, the African accent or whatever like that. So it was like a looser environment.
it was a very unorthodox environment for sure.
But you liked it or you didn't like it?
I loved it. Right. I thought every project was going to be like that. And then I was like, psych. Nope.
Once in a lifetime thing. I think Soul Plane 2 could happen.
It became fun. Yeah. It crushed on the street. It did like $24 million on the street.
On the streets, it was killing.
Even before it opened at the theaters.
There's a conspiracy about this person who took it and they killed that movie. But I think if Kev wanted to, he could do Soul Plane 2. Have you cast Soul Plane 2? I think this time they should go to a fictional African country.
That would be funny.
That's the plot. I just wrote Soul Plane 2. We got to come together and pitch that. And you got to cast it though.
And you should try and find Bo Zenga, who actually wrote Soul Plane. There was like this guy Chuck something on the script, and we were like, who the fuck is Chuck? Like, who's this dude? We've never even met him. Like, how do we get chuck on the phone and like have a conversation about like what does this actually mean and how do you say this? Lo and behold, Chuck was the producer, and we were like, shit. That's why got it.
Can I ask you guys a question about Soul Plane? Because I read the script and I thought it was an atrocity. And then I went in to audition. And I don't remember which part I was auditioning for, but the guy sitting next to me was a black guy.
Oh, you were going for Sofia Vergara's part.
What?
You were going for Sophia's part.
Of course.
Beautiful.
So I'm sitting next to this black guy, and he's auditioning to play, I think, like one of the stewards that finds poop in the bathroom, or there was some scene where somebody, whatever. And I looked at his resume. I looked down at his resume, and he had graduated from Juilliard. And I go, hey, what do you think about this? And he goes, I don't even want to be here, but I need the work. And I was like, this is some Hollywood shuffle shit. And he goes, yeah.
No, you can't say Hollywood Shuffle because that's a great movie. That's like great, Robert Townsend.
That's what we're saying.
This is like some Hollywood. I mean,
but that you're not getting.
No, I'm getting it. What I'm saying is it's some Hollywood shit on here's this white dude that wrote this script that thought.
Oh, it was written by a white guy.
Yes, Bo Zenga's a white guy.
I didn't know that.
He's
Bo
a soap opera actor.
Sound black enough to me.
Then you're like, oh, this is what you think that black comedy is.
Oh,
so,
gotcha.
I mean, that's what it was.
That's what we're saying.
The realistic part is that we tried so many times to change it, and there were like so many different sets of writers that tried to fix it.
And at the end of the day, none of the comics did any of the lines from that movie. They just improv.
There was a lot of improv. There was a lot of like free, go for it. Like do whatever.
But
I think what the actor was saying is that he was like, this is what they were talking about in Hollywood Shuffle. They weren't comparing the movie to Hollywood Shuffle. They were saying, oh, this is what they were talking about in Hollywood Shuffle, that we would have these life experiences. That's the comparison he was making.
Okay, what do you some of the things you casted, Sharon?
I've never cast or scripted. I only work in reality.
Work in reality, yeah, which is cool. It's very cool. With some of the shows,
right now.
It is a huge space, but it's a lot of work. It's so much work
for sure.
Yeah,
it's because now while it's reality, it's so in many ways scripted and
scenario plotted
and produced. Really should not even so much scripted, but just very produced in terms of like who they want, what the character types are.
Yep.
And that's a very interesting space. I find it interesting.
Yeah, I do casting, producing, and segment producing and field produce. So I've done pretty much every aspect of production in the reality space, and it's weird because like I'll think somebody's really great, and then my bosses will go, and they don't get it. You know what I mean?
I get it for sure. I get it.
I got some really
like the best story. My best story for Entourage was when I went to New York. We had already been casting the pilot since like mid-July. It was already first week of October, and I was like, I really can't believe we're still doing this shit. Like, we're never going to find these people. These people just don't exist. And I get a call, like
we just had that. Sharon had that.
Yeah, we just had that look like. Yeah, we've heard that story.
We get a call on 5 p.m. the night before from Innovative. And this agent, Jen at Innovative, was like, hey, Vanessa, I've got this kid. He's great. He's from Florida. He's in New York. He's a model. He's just getting into acting. But he's really got this Mark Wahlberg vibe. And I'm like, yep, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he does. And she was like, no, seriously. And I was like, well, listen, I leave in the morning. Can he come in tonight? Like, I'll stay till 7. She was like, no, he's still a little green. I don't want to like pressure him or whatever. Can he come in the morning? I was like, if he could be here at 10, I'll put him on tape. Kid walks in the next day. He's got on this gray sweatsuit. I almost said it, but I'm gonna take that back since the hashtag. Meet you, time's up, the whole thing.
Right.
But he had on what we would call back in New York a wife beater.
There we go.
A red hat and like and white Air Force Ones.
Okay.
And I look up and I was like, holy shit, she's right. This kid really does look like Mark. And I was like, can you slate your name? And he's like, my name is Channing Tatum.
Girl.
And I was like, yes, the fuck it is. And he opened his mouth and I was like, holy shit. Like, he's a little green, but we've got 5 weeks before shooting and this kid will be a star. And the fact that he was a little green played into being this like...
He did an episode of Entourage?
No, his life was saved. Like, you know how the universe provides? The universe saved him from being a part of Entourage because then he went on to do...
Step Up.
I mean, in every other movie that's changed his life, like Magic Mike, he put in a little bit of money and he fucking owned it. He and Soderbergh, and Warner Brothers, you can't, life is meant to be the way it's meant to be. And I came back totally excited, like, oh my God, I found Vince. And they were like, this kid's not a star. I was like, are you fucking kidding? I sat on the plane with a video, like a VHS tape on my lap in my purse because I was so sure. And they were like, no, until this day, Sheila and I, we'd laugh. I was like, I really must be shitty at my job, Sheila, because...
That's a great story.
Stupid me. I thought that he was good, and he was great.
And he knocked it. The audition was good too?
The audition was so solid.
Wow.
So solid. Totally could have been the one. Listen, Adrian Grenier turned out to be.
Oh, yeah. He was a great job. Yeah, because now you only think about Vince as him.
Yeah, if he was an independent film star, it would have been great. Never thought of him as like a movie star, but it worked out. I mean, like he played the character, and that whole team ended up coming together and became what it was.
It's one of my favorite shows.
That's to say that, guys, whoever is out there listening and want to be a movie star, never give up.
And you also wear wife beaters, gray sweatpants. What are the sneakers to the audition?
Air Force Ones. Come on, that was
what's old becomes new again, Vanessa. Exactly. You got to be open to that. So I got to go shopping.
It's vintage.
It's vintage now.
Did he have a fitted New York hat? What was it?
No, it was like a red wool cap. It was fitted, actually. It was a red wool cap backwards.
And
that should not be so weird because he is my brother's good friend, so it shouldn't be weird in case you hear it.
This is history.
This was just,
It's a moment in history. Now, ladies, right? So you guys work in a male-dominated industry for the most part, but the tides are kind of changing because there's been a lot of sexual harassment and the power shift is changing. Women are are elevating themselves and everything like that. But I want to take this a little bit to the left, right? Since you guys are people in casting, do you guys objectify the actors who come in? Like, do you look at male guys and kind of talk amongst each other? Like, y'all get to be creeps the same way guys are sometimes creeps in their settings. Do you
not
guys?
In reality? No, because it doesn't. I mean, we care about what they look like depending on what the need is of the production company or the network. But for the most part, we're looking at their personality. We're like, are they going to act a fool in front of the camera? Which is different from what she does, where it's like they have to have skills and they have to act. We're looking for narcissists that barely past background.
So you can't enjoy anything, really. You really are just looking for, is this motherfucker a dummy, or is he willing to, okay. So how about you, Vanessa? Do you kind of, in the past, before you got,
but when we get the pictures, when the pictures come across the desk or submitted online, or I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's, listen, casting is about not only talent, but it is about an aesthetic, and selling, could this person's face carry a billboard, is this person going to be the face of something?
Okay.
So there is that part to it, but no, there's no objectification. I mean,
I was hoping that y'all would have more creep moments. Y'all don't really go girl.
You know what? The thing is, it's not my style. It's not my style. Okay. And I would say that casting directors, it's very female dominant.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's a very female dominant industry. And we're cutthroat amongst each other. Sadly, there's not. It's.
Can you get into that just a little bit?
No,
you don't have to name names or nothing like that. But just kind of talk about.
It's just it's a cutthroat type of business where you cultivate relationships with people and you do it intentionally so that those people continue to come back and you service them in a way where you have listened and you will hang on their every whim and you will do certain things just to continue those relationships because it is so hard to work.
Yeah.
You've got studios who now are taking on projects and just kind of keeping them in-house, or you've got people who have been working with the same director for forever.
Wow, okay.
Like Deb Zane with Steven Spielberg, and you had Denise Chamian with Michael Bay. Even Sheila now with all of Mark Wahlberg and Steve Levinson, their projects, their movies, their shows. We did Donald DeLine for a long time. So, you build, and Seth MacFarlane, like you build those relationships for a reason, because those are the people that you hope continue to come back and keep you working, especially when you're an independent casting director. When you're like Francine Maisler, who's got one of the best deals in the world, where she does anything for Sony because she's got a deal at Sony, and then she can work for any other studio, any other director, any other producer. You're golden.
Is that a goal of yours, or what? Like, so what? You're an independent, or are you at a studio right now?
I mean we're independent. I'm independent casting director, and yeah, it's hard to sometimes break in and get those bigger projects. But frankly, like my life has changed so much in terms of what my personal goals are.
Right.
That casting's a really big part of when, let's say, Chris and I go out to pitch a show.
Okay.
I'm able to go in with a list and say, hey, based upon what we've written, these are the people that.
Yeah. Did you do Real Husbands?
I went in and interviewed for Real Husbands.
Did you really?
I did. I went in and I did the whole Dog and Pony show.
Real Husbands of Hollywood, if you guys aren't aware of that, what show that was.
I did the whole Dog and Pony show, but I know Stan and Ralph had Kim in mind to do it. So Kim Harden did it.
Okay. All right. So you had a post a couple months ago that caught my attention because I was watching a show that's no longer with us. I don't say it like it's dead, but I guess so. White Famous, right? That was a show that I hate to bring it back to Chris. This is about you.
That's okay.
We're
Chris,
team. Okay, that's good. Team Spencer.
Yeah, we're a team.
Rodriguez Spencer.
That's cool.
So Team Spencer, he developed this show called White Famous, and another comedian was Buddy Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a show about how a black comic is coming up in the Chitlin circuit, and he's crossing over because he's getting to that point where the Hollywood is giving him the looks, but he's trying to not sell his soul, kind of do things that are not true to his nature and keep his circle around him, and then also raise his son. So it's a great concept because a lot of black comedians go through this when we're trying to transition into the mainstream.
Right.
Like I said, when I saw that idea and I see, Jamie Foxx producing it, I'm like, that's going to be so fucking dope. I thought Jay was a great choice. I was like, this would be his good post-SNL. Jay Farrell, sorry. This would be his good post-SNL thing that he could do to, just have a show on his own. And okay. Vanessa feels different, which is fine. We're all entitled to our opinion, right?
Yeah,
so they have the idea of the show. The pilot gets picked up. They did 10 episodes.
And this was the show that was on Showtime, right?
And this is
there's so much backstory to that.
I know you can't share everything, but
like, and the show that you saw
is not.
I knew nobody was going to be White Famous because it was so not what.
It was whitewashed.
Well, when they hire a white guy to run a black show.
Which makes me fucking crazy.
Right.
It really sucks because they totally co-opted a story that was so different. And when you went in, when it was pitched in the room, it was perfection. And really what I believe Lionsgate bought in the beginning is certainly not what they got in the end. And it came back to haunt them because the show was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, and listen,
I watched all 10 out of loyalty.
I watched all 10 because I prayed to God that this would be something that could launch Jay's career into a different direction. I pray to God because Jamie was our friend that he would win in this television space and break through. So like you just hope it won. And in the end, I was hoping if it came back, like
maybe they could fire the show and get another one.
No, but I was like, it came back, and that was like, residual money. You know what I mean? Like, that was the win in it. That's what became the win in it for us.
And that sucks when that's because that's the.
I just hated it because what you saw was not at all anything that that my husband and Buddy had put together.
Did you cast?
No, I didn't cast. Shit. If I had cast, it would have been a different cast completely.
Can you tell us who'd you have in mind for White Famous? If you were the casting director.
If I was the casting
director. For like the lead, the agent, maybe the girl. I thought the girl was beautiful.
I mean, we had thought about Brandon T. Jackson. We had thought of. I mean, there were so many others that we wanted. Damon Jr. But
I love him.
Yeah.
I mean,
shit,
and it wasn't about. And he wasn't a Chitlin. It wasn't a Chitlin. So he was just.
Or the black.
He was just somebody who was in the black community that everybody fucking knew. Yeah. And then when he came out into like the Hollywood world, there were people that were like, I kind of know that face. I kind of know that face. But as that black comedian, as that black actor, you don't want to just be that face. You want to be that person that everybody knows. So much of the story was really based on living in the world of Jamie.
Yeah.
Like, and stories that my husband has known for years because, like, watching the come up of Jamie and being a part of the come up of Jamie and being a part of, you know, Marcus and Jamie King, who helped cultivate Jamie's career with Jamie because they'd known him for so long. So it really was a much more personal, a much
did
smarter
any of Jamie's stories manifest? It doesn't look like it did. From what I've heard Jamie talk about in the Foxhole and from those old episodes, I didn't think I saw anything that was a Jamie and his friend's story.
I'm going to put it to you this way. I think that Jamie really was smart about the way he tried to maneuver within that world and making the show happen. I'm sure Jamie is like a constant, you know, he's a constant professional.
Right.
And I think he was really trying to work with what he had and what the hierarchy was. And I think he was hoping that as time went on, more of what was supposed to be there would bleed in,
and
but
just didn't happen.
It just kind of didn't happen. And sometimes it works out that way.
And for a second, I felt like watching the show, talking to my friends about it, some who are like directing some comedies, like a lot of comics gave it like 3 episodes and they said I couldn't get through it anymore. And I was like, I got to finish this because one, I fucks with Jay, I fucks with Chris, I fucks with Jamie Foxx. The fact that he's getting shows on like that now in that space where he's the producer and he's not, he said, you know,
and that's a big deal.
It's
that's
a big
like
deal.
A huge deal.
People don't understand that. That's huge.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
So, the way I felt like, damn, I felt kind of doubtful because I'm like, shit, Jamie Foxx is an Oscar winner, Grammy winner, box office superstar, and he couldn't even get to have the show run the way he envisioned it.
But that's TV.
And I understand it's TV, but like I'm looking at how Kenya Barris, not Kenya Barris, Ava DuVernay and Kenya Barris, fine. They do the show. They pretty much have the reins to do shit. So why not trust Jamie, who's had television success before? So it's not like he's completely new to the space.
It's not about them not trusting
Jamie. I think it was a network choice. I think if he had gone to Stars, they wouldn't have done that shit because the way Stars is 50 and Courtney Kemp.
I got to give Chris Albrecht a lot of credit.
Right.
Chris Albrecht is. He had a horrible incident many years ago at Sundance, which killed his career at HBO.
What's that?
Google it.
Okay, I'll Google it.
You know, and,
listeners, y'all can Google it too.
Google it. But when he was at HBO, Chris did Sopranos. Chris was the guy that did The Wire. Chris was the guy that did, you know, Sex and the City. Chris was the guy that was like, listen, Sex and the City's off the air. Sopranos is on hiatus. We're trying to get it to come back. And this show is the only thing that feels like it's going to fill this gap. So he let Entourage ride. And, you know, it became this huge thing. But then after that incident, he got canned from HBO. And he had a minute where he was down, and then Stars picked him up, and he turned around and made Stars a network.
Thing.
Like he made it a network. Where,
nobody was watching that shit before him.
No, he saw talent and he got it.
And Black people, Power's not the only show on Stars. There's some other shows.
Power's good.
Power's really good. I love Power. Let's not get twisted.
And listen, and I don't want to shit on Showtime because Showtime's got The Shy, which has Lena Waithe there, where you know she's in the driver's seat and making the show that it is she wants.
Right.
So, I just think it's a matter of...
I just feel like with Stars, because of the success of Power, there wouldn't have been so much studio, maybe resistance or interference or for them to put their showrunner.
I mean, and I don't know what happened like on set. I don't know what was going on in backdoor meetings. I just know that, you know, it all has to do sometimes with the person who's running the show and show running the show, and if they're willing, what their willingness is to work with their other executive producers, the creators of the show.
The showrunner's got to be strong enough to say this is
the star name of the show. And
I got you.
If that's not happening, then it makes it really hard for everybody else who's involved to have input and see it change.
Yep.
But that's why the show is no longer on the air, and it is what it is.
It was a moment.
You know.
Sharon, so what are you working on right now? Like, are you still doing some casting? Or you been focusing more on comedy?
No, I'm always focused on comedy, but I actually have a show set up with Scout Productions, who created Queer Eye for the Straight Guy and just did the reboot for Netflix. Yeah, so we're out pitching that now, and then I'm shooting another sizzle reel with Tony Soto, who's a drag queen who does a show every Monday at Akbar. Every Monday. Do you know Tony?
No.
She's amazing.
I'm dying. I love watching all that like face beat. That face beat is unfucking believable.
It's unbelievable.
Couture, is it
it's
couture?
Really
is
like
that couture
it's like couture face beat. Like if
All the Instagram models I follow all promote couture.
Couture could be makeup.
And Mother.
For sure.
Mother.
These
yeah,
are,
no,
like,
it's crazy what they do. But he has a show called Learn the Words, Bitch, which is kind of like lip sync battle on Molly. You would love this show.
Fucking hilarious.
So I'm shooting that on Monday night and then editing that together to have something else. Because I know VH1's looking for a companion show for Drag Race.
VH1 is a fucking network, by the way. Like, forget MTV. Like, VH1 is a network.
It was scripted or just shows, period.
Just
right?
shows, period.
They got the pulse.
I mean, that's like Viacom is putting all their eggs in that VH1 basket for sure.
Because it's doing well.
It's doing really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really well.
That's awesome.
So I'm just working on development right now.
All right, and you got you just did your first album, right?
Yes.
That's available.
It's called Sharon, like Duran Duran.
How's it doing right now?
Very funny.
Isn't it funny? The artwork. I had my friend make me a nagel. I'm like, turn me into a nagel. It's tight. Genius. It looks really good. Yep. It's doing really well on Spotify. People don't buy records anymore, but I'm getting tons of streams on Spotify, so I'm sure I'll make $40 at the end of the year. I mean,
you registered with the Sound Exchange and all that stuff, and Fox.
Oh, I'm sure I'll get something from that too.
Serious? Don't play your stuff.
I'm not on Sirius yet. I'm still trying to get that to happen. I mean, when you're an independent producer.
Having people call my people, we're gonna take care of that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I gotta look out for my sisters. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
How many shows did you do before? Like, tell us the process of making an album. Making an album, a comedy album on your own
is brutal. I cried all the time. It's really fucking hard and it's expensive. What I did is instead of doing like a one-nighter, with
2 shows, right? Most people record with 2 shows.
They do a one-nighter with 2 shows and they do an hour straight. I knew I wanted to save money on renting a venue, so I asked some friends of mine. I was like, hey, I'll teach you how to record audio for podcasts if I can do 5 consecutive Friday nights on your show. And they said yes. So I did a barter system, and then I just recorded 7. I broke down my act. I was like 7 minutes, 7 minutes, 7 minutes, 7 minutes, 7 minutes. Sometimes it was 8 or 9 minutes. And then, so I did different sets every Friday, and then I edited the audio together and you can't really tell that there's a different audience in there every night. That's what I was concerned about. Yeah, so I strung the audio together.
That's why I fucks with her.
Yeah, I was going to say, so the theme of this, every child who's listening or young ears, fucking get creative.
Get creative.
Yeah, creativity is where it's at.
Yeah, I had to get creative or I was never going to have a comedy album. And I was just like, I should have a comedy album by now.
You should.
So that's what I did. And then after I had the audio, I had my friend, edit it together in Pro Tools instead of doing it. I should have done it. I could have done it myself in Audition, but I wanted a pro because I'd never edited an album before. And then I reached out to my girlfriends and I was like, who's a good artist? And they said, oh, this girl, Heather Hanford. And I was like, can you make me a nagel? And she was like, Patrick Nagel is one of my idols. And I studied him in art school. Yes, I can. She sent me the best art. So I did CDs with digital download codes inside of them because no one buys CDs. And then I got little cards that I can sell for $5 at shows that has a digital download code on it. And then I just called and asked everybody if I could do their podcast so that I would chart. And I charted it number 2 on the first day. And then I also talked to, there's a radio station in Denver that I heard about. Actually, it's based out of Dallas called Comedy Time. And I just emailed them and I said, can I please promote my album? Can I send you my album? And they were like, you know, we can't really use a lot of your album because of the language. But their head of their company took the time to edit out all the F-bombs and then put it on the network. And he's like, the reason I'm helping you is because you actually respond to emails and you're on it.
Wow.
And then I got a call from a guy in Denver who runs the Comedy Channel in Denver. And he was like, call me. I heard you're really together. I'll help you. I'll help you get some more radio play. Just because I follow up. You wouldn't believe how many. And I know this from working as a casting producer. Well, I learned it for the first time. I worked on America's Got Talent for the first time this year. Yeah. And comedians get in their own way. They don't return emails, phone calls, but they say, oh, I want to do this show. I'm like, great. Here's my email, reach out to me and I'll tell you what you need to do. And then they just go bye-bye. Or I get them like a private audition and they're like, Yeah. And I'm like, you ain't got nothing going on, Bill.
I followed up. I was professional, but I just was not in the headspace mentally to do it. Like I had a lot going on. I was sick the week of in the New York audition, and just because I had some personal issues with car and having to go back to New York to figure some shit out. Then I came back here. I'm trying to get back on my feet. I just couldn't. I wasn't in the headspace to just work on that minute to kind of figure out. And then a comic kind of gave me some more advice. He was just like, the story is more important than what you do in that minute of stand up?
That's not true. Why are you talking to people that don't work on the show?
He did really good on the show, though.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
I work on the show, and you're asking some dude.
I mean, I can't just go off of one opinion.
But this is yes, you can. You talk. Let me tell you something.
Tell me something, baby.
The opinion that you take is the bitch who's working on the show. That's who you listen to. You listen to the casting director.
I just didn't feel confident myself to do it though.
That's fine. But there were other people that were, really could use a break, and I'm like trying to give them a break, and they're like.
Yeah. I couldn't. But I was really horseshit that week though. I was like, it was terrible. I never had to go to the emergency care.
Everybody was getting that flu.
Yeah, it was bad.
Everybody was getting that flu. But yeah, so.
So let's shift it over into some music. So Vanessa, what hip hop you listening to these days? What's in your playlist?
I'm such an old school person.
So do you live it like it's 98 in your car?
Anywhere from anywhere from like 93 to about I guess when I got pregnant with my son. Okay. Probably I live it up to like 90, good solid 94.
Okay. That's by that 10-year window, which is a great era.
10-year window, which is like the best era in hip hop, R&B. Like now my kids listen to shit on the radio. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I pay too goddamn much in tuition for school for you to be listening to this shit.
Gucci gang.
If I can't make out the fucking words, then you can't listen to it. And if you're going to listen to this shit, then you can come up with 42 fucking grand for tuition. That's how that works out.
Hello.
Yeah, that's how that works out.
So you're not into the Lil Pumps, the Tekashis, and the XXX Tentacion.
Listen, I don't know who the fuck they are. I don't know what their names are. Like, I mean, some of it is catchy. So like, I find myself and I'm like, oh my God, am I fucking humming this shit? Like, this is like, I'm like, oh my God. Stop! Like,
were you at All Star Weekend getting lit? You turn up a little bit?
No, not really. No, I was like, you guys do. No, I went to one. We went to one event for friends, and that was it. Done. I was like, okay, and we're done.
So Sharon over here.
But like I like SZA and all like that.
R&B, SZA.
All this shit, like, she's incredible.
She's
like
amazing.
all this shit
I can put you on some other R&B, some good R&B.
Like. I'm not gonna. Some of the Migos, like, there's some catchy shit that I'm like, oh my God.
I'm embarrassed to like some Migos.
She texted me. She was like, Nick, I feel so hard about myself. I love stir fry.
It's the stupidest fucking song.
Which one is that? Because I couldn't tell you by name.
Wrist flipping like a stir fry.
Sing it.
No, I'm not going to sing it.
I think I liked like one of their first songs.
Okay.
And then then when Cardi B with the fucking red bottom.
That is a nightmare.
So hot.
Did that bring you back into your Bronx? Yeah.
No, I looked at Jessie and I was like, fucking you claim her. Like, that's your people, not mine.
Hilarious.
She's not, like, she's Dominican. And I was like, nope, not that I don't love my Dominican people, but I was like, wow.
You're not riding with that.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
so you're not into the
That's
Cardi
all
B wave.
you. I'm not going to shit on anybody's game. Good for fucking her.
No, I'm saying wave is just like you don't like, you're not a fan of her music. Just like,
it's like there's an audience for it. It's just like when I think of hip hop, I think of and this goes for all of them. Like, where the fuck is the story? Like, where is the message? Where is the, like,
who was the chick that was nominated for the Grammy?
Even when we were partying in the club.
There was a female rapper that was nominated for a Grammy. She's a really good, like, lyricist. Charlamagne the God was really big.
I love Charlamagne the God. Wait, a girl?
Yeah, she had a...
Little Ma? Oh.
No. She's very underground, but she kind of, like, had her first...
Now we gotta
it's definitely not Azalea Banks.
No.
I love her.
This is Miss Underground, though. She's like soup. She knows acts that I've never even like.
Yeah, no, I just discovered a new one that I want to share with you guys. She's Japanese.
I saw that chick. She's in the commercial with SZA for MasterCard or Visa.
Well, I don't know if it's the same Japanese girl.
I'm sure they're not. You know,
there was a female nominated for a Grammy.
Might not be.
She's really good. It's not Rod. It sounds like Rod Digger, but it's not. It's
What was it?
It's not. You know who I love? He's a female artist who's LA based. Her name's Carrie Faux. Last name is spelled Faux. She's the shit.
She's dope.
Yeah. You have to listen to the song Lost in Los Angeles and you will be hooked. Also, my favorite rapper.
Rhapsody. Here we go.
Rhapsody? Oh, Rhapsody. Yes,
she had a really dope
great.
album. So you should check her out.
I'm going to check her out.
Yeah, her album got nominated for a Grammy. She's spitter, lyricist, like super hard bars.
She reminds me of Bahamedia.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, she worked with No ID that he EP'd her stuff. So she's been like grinding for a while, but this was her big. I think this was her big breakout year. If you get Grammy nominated, that's pretty good
huge.
to me.
No, that's big.
Even though hip hop, some people care about it, some people don't. But it's still good for credibility. Like her rate's gonna go up. She's gonna have a better year financially. You know, she's more people exposed to her. Game changer.
Yeah,
you know, sometimes you just need that stamp. You know, so that validation,
the credibility
to a degree.
in the
but
in
you know,
business.
we don't ever want to fall traps into the validation because we could talk about like the award shows, like the Oscars. We got that
for sure. But I think music is a little.
Yeah.
In some regards, I think music is different. Like, you know, when you're seen at that level, like to be an artist like Rhapsody or you know, and you're getting nominated year one. That's a big deal.
That's a huge deal, yeah.
People have heard you. And I think it's sometimes easier to be seen in that business because it really is about the artistry and about what you're saying as opposed to, you know, it's easy to buy a trophy in the movie game. It's really easy to buy a trophy in the movie game. It's really easy to buy your way into like you know, being nominated. It's
It's crazy. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
So what I wanted to shift into the
wait, before you do, I want to talk about this girl.
That's not to
talk about this girl.
And that's not to discredit those that have won awards.
Okay.
It's just to say that even to get your way into a nomination,
just to get nominated,
and to be seen, it's all about the support from the studio. It's all about the support from your marketing team and what have you. You know, the music thing seems to be a little bit different. Just knowing, you know, a lot of artists that it's a different hustle. It's really about your peers. Whereas it's different. You know, this is about how many dollars are the studios going to spend because that means something to them. You know, that's an important space for them. And
it's just that what are we clearing?
The studio game is changing. I mean, how the studios make money is changing. So it's really, these award things are really important to studios.
Okay. What were you going to share with us, Sharon?
I just want everybody to listen to Peggy Go, or maybe it's pronounced Jou. It's Peggy Gou. And listen to the song Han John. That's all.
Okay.
Han John. You're not going to understand anything she says.
You text me the link?
Yep.
Okay.
The lyrics are all in Japanese except for the hook. The hook is in English. And you'll love it. And also listen to Tom Mish's new album. If you like old school R&B, you'll love Tom Mish.
Okay. Some new R&B acts I'll put you on if you don't really know about them. There's a group called Division that's really good. Party Next Door. He writes a lot of songs for like the Drakes and whatever like that, but he wants to do his own thing and he's a good artist.
Should I feel bad about liking Drake?
Daniel Caesar had a good year. He's on his way.
Who?
Daniel Caesar.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a song that's popular right now. But those are some good R&B.
Like some R&B, I think has stayed relevant and
it went away for a while because remember there was like a time where it was besides Trey Songz and Chris Brown, it was like who else is really out there? But I think
that was
now
just you, Nick. That was just you.
There was like there was like a couple years where we definitely don't have any more R&B groups. So
no,
it was
we
just
do.
solo
You guys
artists.
just don't know who they are. You have to dig for them. That's
I just found some.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You have to dig for them. They don't.
You know who plays really good R&B? Joe Budden, the Joe Budden podcast. You ever listen to the Joe Budden podcast?
No, but I'm going to.
It's a funny. They joke around for like 2 hours, but then they play this thing called Sleepers. And so his co-host, they'll each play a song from their phone that they dig in.
Oh, I love that.
So sometimes it's R&B and then sometimes it's rap, but they put on like a lot of dope. Like I found out about her through them.
I love her
and him. And like I said, Division and Party Next Door and just a couple of cats that are like really, really just dope doing their thing. And yeah, they did. So they play their sleepers.
To me.
I'll send you a link, a couple good episodes. Sure. Yeah, then just like the last 10 minutes they play their sleepers, and then it's like, but people,
but Joe's from that era of like good music.
Good music.
I mean, like there was nothing better than being in a club in New York from like.
Tell us about the New York club days.
Let's 03. Those were the fucking years.
Take it back because my club era,
Eugene,
my club era in New York was different.
It was like Eugene, Central Fly, Cheetah Club at one point.
Did you go to the tunnel? Were you at the tunnel?
Yeah, the tunnel.
You was a tunnel chick.
Tunnel was a gay.
No. You need to relax with that.
Every time I went to Tunnel, I went.
You went on gay night.
Yeah, that was nice.
They had night. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, copy that.
It was the biggest hip hop night.
That's so funny. I thought it was only a gay club.
Sharon's gay fan base is phenomenal. I think
like there was like 20.
She only knows about gay.
There were like all these like
Cheetah,
and some of them just like popped off on a Friday night. It was like a restaurant, and all of a sudden like Friday night at 9, it became like a club, like the spot.
And you had the luxury of partying through the Bad Boy, Rockefeller, Murder Inc., Def Jam,
and at the same time casting all those videos. So
that's crazy.
Also, you worked with Ulysses on the videos too.
Like that's how I got into casting game.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I was working with Lee back in New York, where we were casting all those videos.
Wow. Did you get to go to video sets?
We lived on the video set.
Which videos did you do?
We did.
Take it back for
us. Blueprint. We did Jay and R. Kelly. We did all of.
Oh, for the Best of Both Worlds.
The Best of Both Worlds. We did like every video on TV.
Yeah, that was like TRL and 106 in Park.
That's
like
amazing. When MTV was music
MTV.
video television. Okay, like when BET had 106 in Park, where they had
Top 10 and
like, and they had their top 10 and Rap City, like all of those videos. Wow. That's how we ate. So dope. That was how we ate. But
those budgets were huge.
That's when you had people like Margot Wainwright over at Universal Music Group, where like she was the video commissioner. You had Grace Harry over at Jive. Like they were. Wow. We did Usher. Like we did all of Chris Robinson's videos. You name it, and we were.
Yeah, I was a part of that.
We were a part of it, and it was like the best time in my life. Like I came out here, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, why are you going to get married so young?" And I was like, "Because I fucking lived. I'm exhausted. I lived a whole life. Like I've been living a life since I was like 16 in New York, going out, partying. Like
you did your 10 years.
I did my 10 years. I got it out of my system, and it wasn't even like I was a little nerd in this world of like, oh my God, look at all this, because I was just focused on getting.
Any rappers started hit on you though, even though you were like the pretty little nerdy look, or did you used to dress different? Like
no, I mean like I always dressed, but I wasn't dressing with my vagina out and my
obviously
ass out.
You weren't
like,
superhead.
Like it just wasn't my thing. It wasn't my thing. But I was like that. I always had that I'm going to be the one running shit at some point on the set kind of vibe, and I think that for sure when I got hollered at.
Did you have any funny stories?
I've got some stories, but I'm gonna let them. I'm gonna let them die out of respect for my husband. I'm gonna let them die, and I'm not.
This is why he married her, because she's a class. I wasn't gonna ask you to name names.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, but you're a classy woman,
there
individual.
Are some funny
maybe
stories.
Off the air, we'll get some stories.
Funny stories, and for sure.
Hey Sharon, have you ever got hollered at by any rappers?
No.
No, rappers don't go after you.
No. I mean, I only know a couple of rappers. Like I'm friendly with Be Real, and he's just lovely and a gentleman.
It's too bad I don't know who Be Real is.
What?
It's probably a realist out there, but I don't know who Be Real is.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
What songs he do?
He's one of the MCs from Cypress Hill.
Oh, sorry. All right, I didn't know Be Real. I know Cypress, but I didn't know the group, the guys in Cypress. I'm sorry. My bad. I apologize. That was not culture. That was not a culture moment.
But it's a little before your time.
Yeah, it's a little.
Right. Like I know some of the catalog, but I don't know them.
Yeah, like their hype was like before your 90s.
Time. But here's the thing, though. I know Tribe and I know Tip and
but that's
because you're East Coast.
You're East, but
that's not true. NWA I fucks with.
Yeah, but they also had Tribe has come back around. They've had a resurgence.
Cypress hasn't really resurfaced.
Yeah, and so many people have paid homage to in their rhymes and talking about who influenced.
So I get a pass.
It's always kept it. Yeah, I'll give you a little bit of a pass. A little bit of a pass on that one.
I know the group. I just didn't. I don't know the members like that, but it's cool.
Yeah, I made a peace sign to Phife Dawg once. Rest in peace. When I went to go see the premiere, but I've never been. I worked once on a 50 Cent shoot. And 50 was, he's lovely. Lovely. Yeah, totally lovely. Nice. But nobody, But I was walking around holding a camera, so.
Okay. I was just saying, when you were out and about, have you ever been, hollering about rappers when you're just in the clubs?
I don't kick it in those types of clubs. I hang out in East Side clubs. You know what I mean?
In Hollywood. She's in East Hollywood.
I'm not in Hollywood.
Silver
person.
Lake. K-Town.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool bars there.
I never saw Alicia Keys Muhammad was spinning at the Line Hotel every Thursday night. Wow. Did you know that? No. The Line Hotel's the best place to listen to hip hop. It's so fun. In the lobby.
I'm going to have to get out more often.
Yeah, it's really fun and chill. You won't feel
the kids are getting grown, Yeah, you can trust them to stay home.
At this
not
point,
burn the house down.
And even if they do.
It
happens.
It happens. You insurance. Because you're working professionals.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you go early and they have throwback cocktails. They have old school cocktails with a modern twist. The Line Hotel is one of my favorite places.
That's in downtown?
No, it's K-Town. It's right here on Wilshire.
All right, we gotta make a plan to go to the line. We gotta make a line there.
Yeah, and I go see Egyptian Lover every time he's performing.
You've been telling me about Egyptian for a minute.
So good.
I gotta follow up with you and go check out Egyptian.
Yeah, and then always go to the Stones Throw shows too.
Okay.
Yeah, I should have come with a fucking
LA to-do
notebook,
list, right?
a notebook and a pencil.
I can tell you. I can tell you.
Get a little group chat going with this because this is good information. Yeah. After 3:00, my world becomes really small. It's like basketball, track.
Okay. So you have two kids, right?
I have 2 kids.
That's a lot. That's a lot of work.
It's exhausting.
And private school?
And the conversation becomes very different. It's like, what the fuck?
So what are you talking to your kids about now? Your son is 12, 13?
So my son's about to be 13.
His fade is looking crispy. I see it from the picture.
He just got a haircut yesterday, which is so interesting because my son is always so anti wanting to get my haircut. And I'm like, shit's looking a little fucking Frederick Douglass. We definitely have to go get this shit cleaned up. I've never been around a man who's never been like, I gotta go get it.
Because your brother's in the Bronx, like, I gotta
they would like it tight, you know?
My brother would be like, I'm going to get a haircut. And I'm like, okay, well, what time are you going to be back? Because I have to be at work and you're going to drive me. And he's like, okay, cool. And I'm like, it's noon. He's like, I'll be back by 4 o'clock. I promise. I'm like, fucking 4 o'clock? What are you doing there? But my brother used to go back to the Bronx to get his haircut. Even when we moved from the Bronx, you know, to a new city where we grew up, he was always going back to the Bronx.
Yeah, you just don't live. You don't want to cheat on your barber.
No, I was like, and what the fuck? True. Like, it takes that long to get a haircut? Seriously?
It's been super hard for me to find a barber I can be in a relationship with because
and out here,
they don't
like,
listen.
you never know.
They charge $50 because they cut comics with credits.
Expensive.
They cut celebrities.
Yeah. Like, and you gotta have like 12 different barbers in your pocket because you'll show up and it's like a 5-hour wait. I don't get it either.
It's hard.
Yeah, so my son's always like,
I'm just going on my
really
effort right now.
You should do it. If my son could keep up the hair, I would totally let him do it.
He doesn't. What do you mean he doesn't pick it?
Well, sometimes he gets really into doing his hair, and other days he's like, you know, he gets in the car. I'm like, what the? Did you not brush your? I told you brush your teeth, brush your hair, and he's like, well, I did the sponge, and I'm like, with no fucking juices and berries. Like, I don't understand. Like,
you got
what
berries
happened?
at your crib?
I'm like, what happened? So I'm like, you have to go buy a hat. Go buy a hat at the fucking school shop.
They let them wear hats at school?
Yeah, like you. This doesn't work. This doesn't work.
Is he getting hot by girls now? The girl, what's that? What's his dating life like? They going to the movies? That's what I was doing at 13. He was always trying to get a girl to the movies.
Yeah, no. My son, well, he's 12. Like, he's going to be 13, but he's like very much 12. His thing right now is like he's totally into what do you call that? NBA 2K.
I play 2K.
Yeah, like NBA 2K18 and like buying shoes for them and trading and what his salary cap is. And,
that's important.
No, he told him, I'm like, listen, you know, I love this shit, but you better fucking become a GM or own the fucking team in 20 years from now.
Go to school.
Otherwise, you've wasted a whole lot of time and money. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And now he's into this other shit. It's I don't know, some kind of like game that everybody can play on TV. It's something Hunters or whatever.
The VR shit? Like virtual reality?
And I'm like, I can't do any of that. That shit drives me nuts. So that's what he's doing.
How's it going with the daughter? A little bit better?
A little bit better. You know, he's a great kid. I can't even lie. He's a great kid.
Yeah.
I like the fact that my kid is nerdy. Like, my son is a straight up nerd. He'll tell you, and this is the funniest shit, is that all of a sudden my son can sing any rap song from 92 to 03. And
that's adorable.
Because you've been playing in the house all these years when you're growing up.
How do you know this shit? And he's like, oh, well, it was on 2K15. It was on 2K. He's like, you know, Jay-Z does all the music. And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, like on the soundtrack, they'll have like Nas, this is Nas, and they play like a lot of old school.
He knows all of Nas's, like, Illmatic. Like, he could sing the entire, and I was like, holy shit. Like, what? He was like, yeah, that's all NBA. I was like, good for you.
Quick Nas thing, right? I'm in the minority usually when I tell people this, but I actually think It Was Written as a better album than Illmatic. I like It Was Written more. That's the second one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I won't
That's with Street Dreams. That's with Live It Like That, Suspect, Shootouts, Rule the World with Lauryn Hill. Like, I just think Illmatic is a classic, but it kind of takes away because it's 9 songs.
Did you guys watch him do his album with the orchestra on public television?
I saw some of it. I heard it was dope, though.
It was amazing.
So it made me
Nas is one of the
he's one of my favorites.
Like, he's one of those artists that he's on a next level type of.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the next album, but I love It Was Written.
In that regard, he's like, to me, Jay and Nas are like two of the.
They're the gods.
They really are. Like, they really are, because they're so savantish in how they approach their music and how they treat it. And I think, you know, Jay, over time, he's
obviously because he's more business savvy than Nas.
He's more business savvy,
commercial.
Yeah. Like, but I just think that I think Nas is real quiet in his business.
Yeah, sweet chick. I eat a sweet chick a couple times.
I think that
Bevel
he's
Blade.
just
right over there on Fairfax.
You know, where they are musically and story wise. Like, I look at them as like true poets, just set to music, because
like,
they
like Nas'
really
last album was really good with talking about the daughters.
Baldwin. Like, I know that people be like, oh, that's really crazy to make that like comparison, but to me, they are our James Baldwin of time, because they were speaking to us and talking about things that were really relatable and really happening, you know, growing up in New York at that time.
And as far as
I hate Jay-Z. I can't stand his music or his rapping.
How many albums have you really listened to?
I won't listen to any of them.
But have you listened to any albums? Which albums have you thoroughly played through?
Never.
You can't say that if you haven't thoroughly played through an album.
I can't. I think his style is whack. I think he's just whack.
But you haven't listened to an album, Sharon. You can't say that.
But I can't stand his style. I don't like his rhyming. I don't like his samples. styles.
He's the most versatile rapper ever. Like he can rap any rhyme scheme. He started out rapping fast, like doing the originator flow. Then he's changed his flow.
No, I feel you, but I can't get down with Jay-Z.
I wish you could just at least play an album. Like if I can maybe pick 3 albums, because 3 of Jay's best albums.
Like Big Pimpin' like Big Pimpin', I wasn't really a fan of.
I mean, that's commercial hits though. That's a setting.
His commercial stuff was like not really like my favorite, but I recognized why he did it. It was to, you know, like infiltrate a whole nother market space and grow that way. So I got it, but in terms of like,
I would just go to Reasonable Doubt. Just go through Reasonable Doubt. That's like Jay, the hungriest of Jay's, because that was before he made it.
Even Best of Both Worlds with him and R. Kelly.
You like those albums?
I have to say, I just
especially the second one was trash.
The second one I didn't like. The first one I was like, this is fucking genius.
It's a shame that it didn't do more, like because they had their issues. But
they did.
If I say any Jay album, to just honestly give it a listen, take out the bias or whatever.
I'll take all my biases.
Reasonable Doubt is masterful. Like. And I was gonna
from start to finish.
Like, no skips.
Start to finish.
Creatively, there's songs there in there like Devils and 22s, and just like the way he did his flows on some of those tracks, and just that's his. I still think it's probably his best album. But I mean, he has so many debatable ones. But Reasonable Doubt, if you want to just hear him rapping in his purest, rawest form, he's not really trying to do anything commercial like that.
Okay, I'll listen to it. And
we're gonna have a talk about this in the Blue Bubble in the group chat.
Okay. And Nas was like, Nas just every time his flow, his whole.
Here's what Nas. I give Nas like because of how he created like things that I never heard before in rap. Like he was the first person I ever heard talk a song where he spoke through the perspective of a gun. There's a song called If I Gave You Power on It Was Written, and he just talks about how as a gun, how he's felt used and abused, and how guys put him into shootouts and whatever. And I was like, that shit is ill. And then the other song that I think separates it from the class is the song on Stillmatic called Rewind, where he does a story backwards. He raps a story backwards. Like he takes it to where it ends and then raps it, and you start from the beginning. And it makes sense and it flows cohesively. That's some phenomenal shit right there, man. Yeah. But you gotta listen to Reasonable Doubt.
All right. Okay.
You know?
I'm more of like a J5. I don't know.
What? What's J5?
Jurassic 5. Oh. You don't even know who Be Real is, and you're telling me I need to listen to Jay-Z?
Yeah, but Be Real is not better than Jay-Z, though.
No, it's like a different style. It's a different style. Okay. It's a different. I think for me, like in terms of, I had a new perspective on NWA.
You play it back. They were important for the movement. I think they were important for the movement. But they're not that great. For an important part of that time and speaking to a specific demographic and population. I think they were incredible with how they came up from nowhere and how they began. And they took that shit by storm. Genius. And they took it by storm, and they took their shit back. Like I thought that was all brilliant. But I was never like a huge West Coast hip-hop fan.
Me either. I was more of an East Coast. Like, but Jurassic 5's LA.
Grew on me, Dre grew on me, Warren G grew on me. But like, when I think of growing up, and I think all of it has to do with like, turf wars and not into the battle, but in terms of like what your stomping grounds were and what your stories were, what your experiences were, was spoken to you through music and who you related to. So for me, it was like growing up on the streets of New York. Seeing shit, hearing shit.
Big Terror Squad fan?
Gotta be a Terror Squad fan. You can't be Puerto Rican and not be a Terror Squad. You can't be Puerto Rican from the Bronx and not be Terror Squad.
Yo, Terror Squad for a minute, 97, 98. You couldn't say shit to Puerto Ricans.
No, you couldn't. That's true. That's
Puerto Ricans, they was flexing on
me. They were fucking flexing. And even when Big Pun came out with that song.
Which one?
With Joe.
Oh, I'm not a player?
Oh, holy shit. We were like, what?
Yeah.
Big Boy I love playing Big Pun's album. Big Boy Puerto Ricans in New York thought they were fucking sexy.
They thought they were the shit.
They thought they were sexy. They were like, it doesn't matter how fucking fat I am. I am sexy.
I hear stories they had some of the most beautiful Puerto Ricans who were like around in 98.
Big Pun's Cuban. I just want to put that out there.
He's not Puerto Rican?
No. Big Punisher?
Yeah.
He's Cuban. Yeah.
He was not Puerto Rican at all?
No, he was the lone.
Joe is the only?
Joe is Puerto Rican.
Cuban
Link.
I like Cuban Link, man. I felt like him and Joe have this bad history that hasn't really died, and I felt like he just got shorted because he was really good to me. Like there was a couple songs that he just did that I thought was always good. He killed his features on the TS collabos, but
And there were a lot of other artists in Tony Sunshine, all those other.
Tony Sunshine, I like because he sings the stupidest shit. I love it.
And they had this other dude.
Armageddon.
No, not Armageddon. Shit.
Raul. No, he came later.
No, Raul is like the dude that runs shit.
Says. Triple Says.
Oh, no, why am I blanking on his name? Yuli would be so disappointed. Kind of short.
It was Armageddon.
He was like the R&B singer, and he sort of did. He would come in and do a couple of runs on some of their raps. So he had a fucking voice. It was like, but nobody was letting him into the R&B scene. They were like, we're not letting this little Puerto Rican come into the R&B scene and steal his shine. But he had a fucking voice on him that he could really. He could blow. But yeah, it was. Those were like the best times. I mean, even when Pun died, like the Bronx.
What a nightmare.
Ortiz Funeral Home.
All the kids on my baseball team was really sad.
It was a scene. Like,
because I played baseball with a lot of Puerto Ricans when I was younger in like the little leagues, and then they, after the season or after some games, they would have mad cookouts and barbecues, and then that's where we just really used to just bug out, and like those were so fun because Puerto Ricans throw the best barbecues.
It was wild.
In New York. You just have so much fun because you'll play baseball. Like you'll play baseball on the street.
We got a pig on a spicket.
Cubans do that too.
It was a big deal.
We drinking. I mean, I'm not drinking like that. I'm having my sodas and my food, but then all the adults are drinking Coronas, and then they play music at the end of the night, and it's great. You dance. That's how you learn how to dance. That's how the black man learned how to bag the Spanish woman, because you spend all the time at the cookouts learning how to dance to the music. Learning some Spanglish, playing baseball with her, whatever, and then video games inside or whatever like that, and then you just kind of see it, and it's just that's how.
And the next thing you know, you're wearing socks with sandals, and
I've kept my socks on. There's not a Spanish girl that can make me take my socks off. Like that's not happening.
No, that's definitely that's for sure a Dominican thing.
It's a Dominican thing.
Puerto Ricans wear their socks. We always joke. It's like that's a Dominican thing.
It's definitely a Dominican thing.
White socks, sandals.
It cracks me up.
White socks, sandals. We always laugh. That's a straight up Dominican thing. Yeah. We're very good for that in our culture, like being very clear on which one of the islands does what. Yeah, because as island people, we don't all get along for sure.
That's true.
I'm from Haiti, so there's I have conflict with the
Dominicans,
for sure.
And there's the thing, because I love Dominican women, but I can't visit the country because of the turmoil right now. It's hard. It's just it's just really, they're not treating Haitians right. They're not.
It's terrible.
They never have.
They never have. If you
they don't
go
even
back
treat
to the
their
history,
own dark people
right?
How
they gonna treat Haitians right?
For sure.
I just hope things do get better. The conflict between PR and DR, look, y'all gotta stop slashing each other's tires, stealing hubcaps. I hope we can end that in 2018. Sharon, Cuban is nothing. Well, Cuba just got opened up for tourism, but I hear it's still not like there yet, where it's like a fun place because you guys don't get like a lot of the products imported, so there's not like.
Well, I've never lived in Cuba, but I will say all my friends that have been love it.
They love it,
and everybody they didn't want to come back. It's just a simpler. It's
a simpler way of living.
It's a simpler way of
life
they have
no choice.
They have no choice.
Yeah, they have no choice.
Nothing has changed since.
Yeah, nothing changed since the 50s.
So it's really an interesting place. My dad's mother's sister still lives there.
Dad's mother's sister. Okay.
I'm half
great
like an aunt-in-law kind of.
Have you been to Cuba?
Not in-law.
My great aunt. My great aunt lives there.
Have you been to Cuba?
Have not been to Cuba because my dad's always had some type of government political job where
what'd your dad do?
It's been really hard.
What does your dad do?
So my dad's an attorney by education, but he's run nonprofits, working with like the SBA and.
Okay, my mom worked in nonprofit.
For the New York State government for a while, and
That's awesome.
was a military guy. So, yeah, we weren't exactly going to Cuba for vacation.
And they won't let them. A lot of times they won't let you if you're like depending on how your family came here, they won't let you go back.
Oh yeah,
because you're in exile.
It's funny. My folks spend a lot of time going to Cuba for stuff because in Haiti you can get a passport to go travel to Cuba.
Right.
Like before that, obviously now it's more people can go. But like for the longest time, like my dad, he used to go to Cuba. My aunt had a surgery in Cuba. Like it's because it's like you could see there's a part when you're at the tip of the island of Haiti, you can actually see Cuba. It's like
I was looking at moving there because right before the election, I was looking at different countries.
Take over the comedy scene in Cuba.
No, I just want to get wanted to get away from this president. And there's a lot of production jobs in Cuba where they need people who are bilingual who can just facilitate paperwork. Where it's like, how do we get these permits to clear in the U.S. for distribution, things like that. So I was looking into. Like just living there and, just to get the fuck out of here.
Last two things I wanted to bring up because this is...
Yeah, how long is this podcast? I got shit to do.
You got shit to do?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
It's Oscar Sunday,
Did you take a nice little cute picture we can use?
Did, yeah. I don't want to leave in the middle of the podcast. Is this like a 2-hour podcast?
It's only been on 1 hour. we were having such a good time, but clearly she's just feeling different.
I feel like we've been talking for like an hour.
So a great conversation is, Sharon, but damn. I can't.
An hour and 7?
See? Okay. I can't even let you get a Trump spiel out.
Sorry. No. I got my Trump spiel out. I got it out.
You don't want to talk more about it?
No.
How about you, Vanessa? Vanessa's very vocal about Trump.
Yeah. Oh, I am too, but I'm just, it makes me sick to my stomach.
Vanessa's so vocal, her caps, she makes you feel it through her caps because it's like 2 paragraphs.
They're usually like about 2 paragraphs.
Oh, my Twitter.
Not doing a video.
Yeah. Do your friends have like talked to you like about that? Like, how do you feel about that?
Because I've got a couple of friends who have you lost some friends? Totally lost some friends.
I have.
No, I think there are people that like have quietly cut themselves off from me, and it's totally fine because I'm like, if it comes down to your fucking pocket of like, if going to Neiman Marcus more times a week is more important to you than everybody else in this country, then fuck you. I don't need to be your friend.
That's right.
That's kind of how I feel because I'm like, I'm okay going to Neiman Marcus a couple of times a month, and buying whatever the fuck I want and still paying for somebody else to have fucking healthcare and education and a raise. Like that's how this country really works. Like that's how we were founded. I recognize people for who they are. Then I've got other friends who are like, I know that we disagree politically, so we're just going to keep shit real simple and real light and talk about things that don't involve politics. And, and here's, I'll say this. I've got a really dear friend who grew up in the USSR, who grew up waking up at fucking 4 a.m. to go do some gymnastics and and learn how to put a fucking Kalashnikov or however they want to say, which is basically a fucking AR-15 together in history class because they were always preparing for war. And she had to figure out how to do it in under 2 minutes. And then she came here when she was 19 years old.
Wow.
So she's brainwashed into this thinking, like this is her way of thinking, and and not to be educated here. And to have to rebuild coming here. She just has a different perspective on life, which in my heart hurts a little bit. But if I was fucking standing in the middle of West 8th Street over here naked and like, how the fuck did I get here? The helicopter would be landing to rescue me before I could even, That's
true.
So you have to weigh those things out.
I saw a show where they said that him getting elected in ways is probably the best thing that could have happened to the country because it had to show people like, there's still first of all, a lot of people that didn't vote.
I think we figured that shit out during fucking 8 years of Barack. When the black man got elected into the White House and everybody became a fucking asshole, and the day that he was being inaugurated, those fucking old, 70-year-old white men hanging on for dear life were like, fuck him. We're not going to let him do shit. I think we were pretty fucking clear on where we still were as a nation.
Agreed.
That was very clear.
Okay.
So the fact that this asshole got elected, this was about, they thought that he would change, or they thought that they would be able to corral him, and they had no idea that the fucking Russians were the greater power and that they were going to be running shit.
Right, and the real damage that's happening to this country is the fact that he's appointing so many conservative judges that don't even have experience sitting on a bench. So not
in
only
all different states, like
in
people
all
think,
different
people
states.
think that he's only appointing people to the Supreme Court. He can only appoint however many seats are there. So whoever dies next, like, he'll be able to appoint somebody. So RGB, fucking hang on for dear life, goddammit.
Drink water, eat kale salads.
Life, honey.
However you have to stay on that bench, Miss Honey, you make it. We will
do whatever we have to do.
But like, he's appointing, judges and
people.
Supreme Court status,
and their lifetime
across the country. Yeah,
that's where we're fucked.
Well, maybe we can go back. You know what? I want to say this. Fucking good for you all, time's up, and Me Too women. You know who we have to get next? Harvey's a fucking monster. We get that. And
talk about it.
Like that, like it's legitimate. And I think we can all say that he's a monster, and my husband can still work, and I can still work, and my kids can still go to their schools. But because there's evidence, factual based evidence. But fucking Clarence Thomas, can we talk about the real monster that got appointed to the bench who fucking ruined so many women's lives like long ago? Like Anita was fucking telling the truth.
How does that happen? I don't.
How do you think it happens? It happens in every industry all the time.
But it happened with him because
I'm just saying with
I think it was
been
weird.
Exposed. How does he still get to elevate after?
Because people still didn't believe women back then. Anita, she had the balls to testify against him. That took so much courage.
Yeah. And his wife, listen, his wife was a fucking pig. She's the worst. She was the worst of it. She fucking threatened women, other women who were coming out. She tarnished Anita's reputation. And by the way, I think it was also at a time where people in the black community were like, who's this bitch trying to fucking ruin this black man's life by coming out and saying shit?
Yeah.
Listen, we were no help to our own tribe.
Yeah,
we were no help to our own tribe because we were like, what the fuck? A black Supreme Court? We've never had that other than Thurgood Marshall. Like, we should let this dude on there. Like, nobody knew. Nobody knew because we always are so quick to shit on each other and like not really see and support. So, I think we had a little bit of a fucking
black
hand
people.
To do
We can't just champion something because it's black. I mean, a lot of people felt like that way about Obama, but the qualifications should come first, then the color second.
I always knew Obama was a genius.
Yeah, and I think a lot of white people like to say because he was the black guy, we're gonna and I think a lot of non-intellectual black people were like, he's fucking black, so I'm gonna vote for him. That really did not help.
That's not because we can't have. He's not a Make-A-Wish president.
No, it wasn't a Make-A-Wish president. It was a president who, in this last, in modern presidential times, like is one of the most intellectual men we've ever had, other than like Carter, who is like a fucking Nobel Peace Prize winner and like a physicist. Then you had Jimmy Carter. Did I say Carter? I said Carter. Then you had
Bush.
But neither Bush was really. I mean, the first Bush was really smart. Second Bush, not a dummy.
We all know about that.
But no, Clinton, I'm talking. Clinton was a Rhodes Scholar.
Clinton. I've read more about Clinton.
I'm talking about just in terms of intellectual capacity.
Right. Which is why I was okay with voting for Hillary because I was like, she's the lesser of two evils.
No. Don't even say that. She was not the lesser of two evils. Listen, the Clintons have had a colorful, checkered past of politics. Politics is a career. I hate when people tell me I don't want to vote for a career politician. Motherfucker,
you do.
Well,
politicians is a career. It is a career, so it's okay.
Yeah. Sustainable career.
They've had some checkered flags that you're like, not so sure you won that race. But at the end of the day, when it came down to it, here is a woman that had made a clear choice, picked her partner, and they were willing to support one another, and they each knew what each other's goals were. It was Bill's turn first, then Hillary, and she by far was more qualified than any other person that has ever run for president.
For sure.
And I think that when we start saying, she stayed with him and she did that, fucking diminishes.
That's not why I'm getting into
No, I understand. But I'm saying, like, I don't even think that when you compare Donald Trump to Hillary Clinton, she was the less of two evils. Fuck that. There was never a day I was ever going to feel unsafe waking up with her as the president.
In a million
and I don't give a shit who she fucking took money from in Whitewater. Like, I don't really care. I don't care that, like, that doesn't matter to me. That doesn't matter to me. And what matters to me is that every day I knew that when she was waking up, she was getting the job done. We were safe. We were never losing our respect across the world.
She understood international diplomacy.
Like there's just things that like.
I think what ruined Hillary, because part of the skill set.
She had a bad fucking PR team. That's what ruined Hillary.
Let's
not lose track of the fact that Russians but they stole our election.
With the whole shit with Uma and the whole shit with Weiner, like they should have just confronted things as they came up. And when somebody once asked her about Bill when she was on the campaign trail, and they didn't want to answer the question, they should have just fucking answered it head on. Because when you own shit, it takes it away from somebody else to be able to throw
use
shit.
Your truth so nobody can use it against you. This is what, and I'm not as savvy and knowledgeable with politics as you guys are, because I can clearly see you know what you're talking about when you talk about these kind of things. With Hillary, what I saw, what messed her up was that when she was on her campaign trail, and like you said, PR team kind of fucked her up with that. Like she did the Breakfast Club, right? And part of being a politician is you kind of got to be like a salesman. You got to get people to buy into what you're talking about. When they would ask her things or try to like joke with her, whatever like that, her go-to answer or response was always like, yeah, I'll do it if you vote for me. And it just kind of came off so thirsty, like with the nay and the dancing thing. And I just think that like you trying to assimilate the thing that'll please us into voting for you, that was such the wrong.
Like don't placate me.
Don't play. Don't culture votes. Like just be you. Because what you do is good on your own. But,
we could argue this until we're blue in the face.
It's not
the Russians. I know. I'm just saying that the Russians influenced our election. They focused on the states that they knew were swing states. Like she would be president if we didn't have Russian meddling. I mean, honestly,
I agree with that. Like I don't disagree, but I'm just saying I think that they may have not. They may not have won in the way in which they won. I think electorally, because we have that fucking very bastardized system. I don't think that he would have run away with the electoral college numbers that he did if they had done a better job campaigning in the states that they should have been campaigning.
Were you here on election night, or were you in New York?
No, I was here, but I have friends who worked for the the Obama administration that were like giving me updates, and I was already in a fucking fetal position by like.
Yeah, I kind of already knew he was gonna win.
Yeah,
just
by 5 o'clock, I was like, holy.
Oh, way
shit.
before 5 o'clock. I knew months ago he was gonna win. Yeah.
There was a feeling that like I had a couple of months earlier that here's the thing. I can remember when he won, when he clinched the nomination, and I was in a very small island off of the coast of Camden, Maine, at a friend's house, and his dad and I were like, oh my God, I can't believe that this lunatic is like about to fucking clinch the nomination. This is insane. Like, this is who this guy, we're gonna be. And he walked in the room and he was like, he's not gonna win, so you should stop talking about this shit. It's ridiculous. And then sadly, a couple of months later, my friend passed, and all that like entire time I was like, Michael, you better be up there fucking pulling strings because you chastised me, and now look who it is. Look who we're down to, and cut to he fucking won. And I was like, Michael, you fell asleep on the job.
So yeah, we only got hopefully only three more years of this. Hopefully,
no, 1 more year, boo.
You think he gets impeached?
I hope his ass gets evicted.
But I hear the VP
November
is worse than him. So do you really want him impeached?
By the way, I think that if one goes down, they all go down, and we're going to see something in our history that we've never seen.
Like a complete wipeout, possibly.
A complete wipeout. And by the way, the fucking best part about that is we'll probably take back the House. There'll be a new Speaker of the House, and then if this would be so wonderful.
Vanessa,
but if
talk that gospel, girl.
If Trump and Pence were to be taken out after the midterms and we've taken back the House and it becomes a Democratic House Speaker, then the third in line to take the seat would be the House Speaker. So we'd have whoever the Democratic House Speaker is would then become the president if both Trump and Pence were to go down. So I mean,
let's be hopeful. Let's cross fingers.
There's hope.
Let's pray.
Right?
Let's treat each other.
We got to go back to the audacity of hope.
Yes. So
that's it.
Last thing before we wrap, do we care about the Oscars? Any of you two? You guys watching?
I
totally do. I totally care. Like I'm having people over, and I hate when people speak.
She's going for drinks and cocktails.
Shut up! I'm like, stop fucking talking.
She's going for the free food.
That's why one friend does not.
No. I'm going at the end of the because I don't give a shit about the Oscars, and I don't.
Oh no, the parties are good. No, I totally hear you, but I like to watch just for tradition. I remember being a little girl and like always looking and like.
What are you rooting for? Like, who are you rooting for?
Fucking Jordan Peele, Get Out, absolutely.
Okay, all right,
for sure.
I'm down with that.
I gotta say there weren't too many movies that totally moved me this past year.
Do you go to see all the movies that are nominated? Like you make sure you just watch those?
No,
you don't have to watch, but you're like sex. You probably get them sent to you, right?
Like we went to see Get Out in the theaters, and then we watched a couple of screeners.
Okay. Like I want to see I, Tonya. I heard Tanya's really good.
Why?
I like Margot Robbie, and the girl plays her mother.
First of all, I didn't believe Margot Robbie for her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It didn't. Like she did her best.
Okay.
She did her best.
I heard the mom kills it though. The mom kills it.
Allison Janney kills it.
She's
for
great.
sure. She kills it.
Okay.
Margot was okay. The movie was kind of like, who gives a shit?
Okay.
Like, I already know the fucking story. Like, I would have liked a different perspective.
Okay.
I actually would have liked her telling the in between, and then like Margot just acting.
Well, I don't know I don't know about anything. I'm a Margot Robbie fan, and I like the girl.
She was
Allison
great.
Janney.
Margot was great in the movie with Will. That was fucking.
Was the
Race or whatever that was?
The heist movie with it like thieves or whatever?
Yeah, that was
Focus. There we go.
Yep,
Focus.
That was really good.
Okay.
She was really focused in that. Okay. Shape of Water rewatched. It was beautifully done. Beautifully done, but
awesome.
I was like, what was my...
I'm still gonna go see it. But so tell the people, where can they find you? What do you got coming up? If you want to promote anything, plug anything, just let it out.
I don't know, but I will say this: if Stacey Dash is really running for office, I'm gonna fucking run against her just for the fun of it.
Yeah, you heard it now. You heard it first on For the Culture Live.
Because she's so goddamn clueless. They yelled "cut" like 25 years ago. Okay,
it's a wrap.
Yeah, like done. Like.
I forgot to tell you guys, Vanessa's a queen shade thrower also. I love that too.
I am.
So where can people find you? If they want to follow you?
Oh, you can follow me at Shades of V Sizzle.
Shades
of V Sizzle BX. Yeah.
Shades of V Sizzle BX. That's a dope IG. Sharon, what you got coming up?
Go to, I don't know. I have a bunch of shows.
No, the album
up.
And the album.
Oh yeah, you can buy the album.
Yes,
Thank you. You
God,
can buy the
Sharon.
album. You can buy the album on iTunes, Bandcamp.
We got 50 downloaders a week, Sharon. Come on now.
Yeah. That's it?
No, we're getting more.
You're gonna get more.
I'm gonna get a social media person to help me run this.
We're getting more.
I gotta get
so go to, and you can go to IamSharonHouston.com, click on shows, you'll see where I'm gonna be at. Instagram at Sharon Houston. Listen to my podcast, Daytime Justice. It's on iTunes, it's on everything. My guest is Drew Droege from Drunk History, so you'll love that episode. And then go to Instagram at Sharon Houston, Twitter at Sharon_Houston if you want to watch me retweet political things.
Okay.
And
because
Houston
I'm angry.
Spelled like the city?
Like the city, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just
yeah, because everybody in LA spells it Houston. In New York, they spell it Houston. I'm like, yes, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, New York is a little bit more hip than everybody
Well,
else.
I mean, and I was adopted, so I get it. You know, they're like, okay, so yeah, all those things. Sharon Houston, Daytime Justice, Sharon's the name of my album. Pick it up.
Please pick it up, guys. Support that. Listen to it. Rate it. That's always important.
Rate it. You can buy it on Amazon. Rate it there. Rate it on iTunes. Rate it. Yeah.
Please do that. I'm your host, Nick Alexander. Amarie will be back with us next week. Stand-up wise, March 13th, I will be at the Irvine Improv hosting the Comedy Juice. So if you guys want to come out, it's a Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, I believe. So yeah, Irvine Improv Comedy Juice I'm hosting. If you want to follow me at Nick of Comedy, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Mi Gente, Black Planet. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, you can follow me at Nick of Comedy, NICKOF Comedy. Thank you guys. It's for the culture. That's what we're doing. We're talking culture and everything else. Y'all be good. Peace.